Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Mayum coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and this truth and sincerity. And just want to do a quick video, just kind of hitting on some points, and we'll see how long this video will go. And bear with me as I do this in transit. I'm actually on my way to work, so yeah, so just bear with me. But you know, we're gonna go into this video here entitled Digital Revolution, People Forced to Rethink Banking. All right. And again, man, this is more news, you know, coming out, more information that's being pushed out, showing you, you know, plain as day what the wiles of the devil are. Okay. Which let's matter of fact, let's start off with that precept. All right. Bear with me. All right, Salakia. Salak. All right, Ephesians 6 and verse. Let me see here. Ephesians 6 and verse 11. And again, all right, as I was saying, you know, more information coming out on the wiles of the devil. All right, we see, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, you know, giving us the eyesight to be able to see. All right, as Yahweh Shai told his disciples, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. The Lord power surely doeth nothing, but he revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets. And Lord's will, you know, myself included, you know, you brothers and you few sisters out there that are truly believing in Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, serving them to the best of your ability. You know, we see what this devil is up to. All right, as the scriptures also say, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right, so in knowing this, man, we have to keep in mind that we have to be in a state of readiness, so to say. All right, being made ready. All right, making our calling of election sure. And the way we do that is by putting on the covering of Yahweh Shimi Al Shai to combat what this devil is doing on earth, because it's going to be a grievous time that's getting ready to be presented. All right, what Esau Edom has in plan is draconian measures. All right, and if you don't know what that word is, draconian, look it up. All right, so this is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, put on, I'll start at verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And how are we? Well, the answer is in the next verse. Let me keep reading. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now let's, real quick, before we continue in this lesson, let's get that word there for wiles. All right. Ephesians 6. And, well, you can just read it in the NLT and it'll make sense for you. Ephesians 6 and 10 or 11, it says, put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. All right. So this man's intentions, all right, what he has devised to take place here in the last days, which is ultimately going to bring about his own demise. All right. His own demise is being brought about by his own plans. All right. His own thoughts, his intentions. Okay. So bear with me here. Let me get this in Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, man. And see, this so-called white man, Esau Edom, who is the devil spoken of in the scriptures, he knows that he has, you know, a little bit of time left in his rulership before the Lord returns. okay, to bring him down from the so-called pedestal that he's been placed upon. Okay, and so this devil is coming down, having great wrath. All right, and right now what we're going to get ready to go into, Lord's will, we're able to get to the main point, is leading up to this MOTB, all right, which is spoken of in Revelation 13, which is the charagma spoken about in verses 16 and 17. Okay, where he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, you go into that, that's a badge of servitude. That word there in the Greek is charagma, and it says what? A badge of servitude. And when you go into the root word of the word charagma is charax, which means a thing inserted. Okay, a palisade, something, an instrument used to insert something. Okay, and so what we know that MOTB to be is the RFID microchip, which is going to be a digital insertion of a device inside of you, which is going to allow you to be in tune with what Esau is going to call society and its new way of living. All right, everything is becoming digitized. Even if you don't believe in the scriptures, you can see that. Okay, they're talking about putting facial recognition sign-in for video games, for Christ's sake. You got, a facial scan on your phone to process your card. All right, you got certain stores where you can walk in and pay already, with your palm, and now you're starting to see, stories here and there pop up in the United States, of people having a device inserted into their right hand, okay, or some body part, and allowing them to process payments. All right, this is something that's been happening for years in other countries, mainly Sweden. You've had countries like Spain, where I think there's a club in Ibiza, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the name of the club, but where you have to have the microchip to get in. You got to scan yourself in, and what this thing is going to allow you to do is going to contain all of your information. It's going to allow you to be plugged into the system, all with one, all with continuity with everything. Okay, everything is going to be connected. This is what they call the Internet of Things. Okay, and what the Internet of Things is going to allow businesses and the individual to do is to everything be interlinked. So everybody, if you're not a part of the system, you won't be able to go into stores because you're not a part of the system. And everything, as we see happening, okay, businesses closing, banks closing, stores getting shut down, everything's being constricted to funnel everything down to one particular source. And this is what Esau Edom is doing. Because ultimately what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to his system. You're going to have to be a part of this system to be able to obtain any type of resource, any type of commodity, food, anything like that, man. All right. And so as we get closer to that day, you're starting to see more of a constraint put on the people themselves, with the dollar being, and Salakia for my rant, but with the dollar being devalued, it's costing you more at the pump. It's costing you more at the grocery store. Okay, your paychecks aren't stretched as far as they used to be stretched. So okay, so that's putting a more constraint on the individual. All right, to panic, to fear a sense of insecurity. Okay, to have a sense of not being sure. Okay, and so when they come, and what this video is going to start off in, and again, Lord's will, this doesn't get flagged or anything. What this video is going to start off in is going to go into talking about the job market and how the numbers are being, as the article goes into, revised, and they're not really truly showing you the true numbers of unemployment right now. Because when you really look at what's happening, people are losing their jobs left and right because companies are closing. All right, businesses are consolidating assets. They're consolidating departments. Okay? So real quick, because again, in the midst of all this chaos that's going to ensue from Esau's policies, Esau's changes within, the system, a lot of people are going to suffer, and Esau Edom is going to come at these people with a solution. Okay? And this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. And again, Salakia, bear with me, as I do this in transit. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So with the constraints that Esau Edom is putting on the people, he's going to come with a so-called solution, which the scriptures tell you that. Matter of fact, let me get that. Esau Edom is always going to cause something to happen, and then he's going to be the first one there, first man on the scene to give you a solution, because he's trying to take advantage of you, man. And this is what he's doing. This is what it means by he causes all. Okay, he puts the constraint on you, and he causes you to then come to him for the solution. And that's that peace and safety that he promises you, or that he's going to be promising you. All right, just like they did during the whole C-19 thing. What were they saying? You don't have to die. Come get this. Don't die. Okay? And it gave the people an illusion that, man, this is the only way out of this thing, is if I get this. And then they put even further constraints where you couldn't go into certain businesses. Okay? I.e., example of the MOTB. You couldn't go into this store. You get kicked out. Unless you had this thing. Unless your mouth was covered. But this is Sirach 12 and 16. Or Salakia verse 17. It says, "If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first." And this is the thing, is that he's the one that causes the adversity. This is a part of the wiles of the devil, man. This is why we have to be suited up in the armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man, putting on that garment of the Lord, the covering of him. Because if it isn't for the Lord, if we don't have the Lord on our side, man, then your ass is through out here, man. This devil is going to sweep your ass up, and you're either going to do one or two things: die, or you're going to get that mark. Because it's going to be, there's not many other choices outside of the Lord, man. It's either you die, or you go up underneath this devil and you still die. Okay? Again, man, the Spirit's been on me to keep bringing this precept out, man. He that shall gain his life shall lose it. So yeah, you may gain you may retain your life here in this society by getting that MOTB, but you're going to ultimately lose it, man. Okay? And so this is Sirach 12 and 17. "If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee," with this is that solution, the MOTB. "And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee," man. And let's get this word undermine in the online etymology. All right. It says render unstable by digging the foundation. All right. Injured by invisible secret or dishonorable means. And see, this is what the devil is going to do, man. He's going to ultimately give you a mortal wound, just like he's going to receive a mortal wound, because he was already wounded, but he was revived. Okay. All right. That's when he came back into power, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, during the time of the Renaissance. That power, that life was restored back onto him. So now that he knows that he has but a short time left on his on this life that he's been given, it's about up. Okay, he wants to take out as many people as he can. So what is he doing? He's trying to give you a mortal injury, man. He's trying to undermine you. So that's why he's coming with this so-called solution, this so-called peace and safety, because ultimately he's trying to undermine you, man. He's trying to take you down with him, because pursuant to Revelation 14 verses 9 and 10, you will die. You will suffer the wrath of the Lord poured out without mixture, man, along with the beast and his image, with those that worship his image and receive their mark, man. Okay? So this is why it's important, man, to be watching and preparing yourselves for what's getting ready to come, because this devil is trying to take out as many people as he can, man. And he's going to be the one that's going to be there in the forefront with a so-called solution. And that's why in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, what they say, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Okay? So let's get a little bit of this video here, and we'll try to get as much as we can. Again, Bubba Kashar, bear with me. All right, so hopefully you can hear this, and hopefully it's not too loud. So I'm gonna try to play this, Bubba Kashar. If it's too loud, turn down your volume. I don't know what to tell you. But all right, let's get into it. So like I said, this is gonna first start off with the job market, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, Lord's will, we'll see how far we can get.
As you can see here, this came out this morning. It says weekly jobless claims jumped to 231,000, the highest since August of last year. So what's going on? Yeah, I guess the narrative of a steady, smooth landing is becoming hard and problematic to kind of keep that narrative going. So they're letting some numbers spill out. And of course, when it's revised, it's probably going to be 250,000, but give them the benefit of the doubt. But this is just more of an indication of how it's becoming harder to keep the lies up of everything is going smooth and hunky-dory. It says initial claims filed as unemployment hit their highest level since August of 2023 in a potential sign, look at this, in a potential sign that an otherwise robust labor market is changing. Potential sign, robust. Come on now, we know they're lying. But anyway, jobless claims total a seasonally just.
All right, so you see, all right, the people are really, the job market really isn't doing good, man. All right, more and more people are losing their jobs. More people are quitting their jobs, really. Okay, but what happens when you ain't got no job? You get stingy with your money. Okay, you start to save what you can, and you cut costs where you don't need to be spending. Okay, so that in turn starts to change things up. Okay, that starts to cause a so-called snowball effect. Okay, and it goes into other and it starts to affect other companies, other jobs. People start getting hurt in their other jobs because people aren't spending money anymore. Okay, so this is Sirach, and again, this is or not Sirach, Ecclesiastes 12, and what you see this guy here, and in this video, RTD TV, check him out. He does some good videos. He's been bringing out lately some good information on this this new digital frontier that Esau Edom is moving towards. So if you want to get some good information, he puts out some good information from time to time. But going back to this, let's get this precept here. Ecclesiastes 12:3, it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." Okay, so the keepers of the house are guys like this, these guys that are watching these financial markets. And really, you go into, these even higher up financial economists. Okay, these guys that are whistleblowers that are, blowing the whistle on certain policies and certain insider trading, trading information that's being pushed out here by these guys. All right, where they have these leaks of certain documents that are being, passed around in these Fortune 500 companies. All right, these big bank corporations. All right, Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan Chase and so on and so forth, Deutsche Bank, and these guys are as I believe he brings, not in this video, he doesn't really go too much into the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. He goes into some things, but certain programs and projects that the BIS is working on. Some of these insider trader guys, all right, these financial guys, these experts so-called, all right, they see what's happening, and they're preparing themselves, and they're coming out with this information. All right, and they themselves are afraid of what's coming. All right, this is why we've gotten to the point here in 2024 where there's so many YouTube channels out here, these guys, these so-called financial experts that are pushing out this information for the public to see, because they're afraid, so they want to try to warn as many people as they can. Okay? So it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinder cease. And what's the grinder ceasing? All right, the grinder ceasing is the job market, man. Okay? It says because they are few. Okay? Grinding isn't that an endearment of Jake? All right, you Israelites, you like to say that, right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm out here grinding. All right? And what does that mean? Is I'm out here putting that work, man. I'm out here working. So when the grinders are ceasing, that means they're stopping work. Work is being stopped. And it said what? Because they are few. So there's few workers out here, man. And we see in these job markets, you know, you may think 250,000 people is small compared to the U.S. population that's, you know, close to the 400 million. But it's a lot of people, man. A lot of people, and it's going to continue to go up. And you may think it's a small number, man, but it's got a big effect on the economy. It's going to have a ripple effect. Just like you can throw one little stone into a lake, but it's going to cause that ripple effect to be seen throughout that whole lake, man. Okay? So it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Right, man, because the businesses are going to close. All right, people are going to have to stop showing up to work because they're not getting paid because the company ain't got no more money, or the company has had to switch over to the new banking system, the new financial way of communicating with banks, and now you have to have the MOTB, and if you're not with it, guess what? You're fired, just like they did with the jab. Okay. It says, the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right, let's go back to this video and play a little bit more. Slovakia.
It's at 231 for the weekend of May 4th, up 22,000 from the previous period, higher than the Dow Jones estimate for 214,000. Okay, so you know it's hard to hide the lies. Okay, nothing new there. Keep it moving. And as a response to that, Dow slipped for the first time in 7 days as fresh earnings dampen sentiment. Earnings aren't doing too well, and so all the tech sector's laying off. And I come across stuff all the time. It's just hard to get it all out there. But earnings for a lot of consumer-driven companies are not doing well as the food industry. And I got another article here, which is very surprising. This shows how unfortunate things are. So we're going to get into that. Let me just see if I can grab that real quick here. Nope. Okay, so I'll keep it moving. But just trying to skim through the headlines. Remove that narrative of a rosy and warm and fuzzy narrative that they want, mainstream media wants us to believe, because we know it's a lie. Okay, let's get into the top story of the day. So here's something that caught my attention.
Right, don't be fooled by those lies of the devil, as the scriptures say. He would have deceived the very elect, but the elect we know is not going to be deceived. But that's how cunning this devil is, man. That's how crafty this devil is. Okay. That's how crafty this devil can be. Where he'll fool you into believing one thing when the complete opposite is taking place. Okay, this is what the scriptures talk about, that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man, meaning his intentions. We see what he's doing, man, and be not ignorant, man. Don't think this man's playing around. This is why the scriptures tell you, man, it is high time to wake up out of sleep, man. To come up out of this place. Be ye not partakers with her sins, man. Because what the Lord is getting ready to bring about in this place, man, is going to be horrific, man. You don't want to be a partaker of it. You want to just be passed over. You want to be kept from the evils. Otherwise, hey, good luck. All right, let's keep going in the video.
In Australia, we have one of the top 5 banks that on May 20th is basically limiting and cutting off their primary services involving cash and checks and things of that nature. And we talked about this because they announced it last year, but literally it comes into effect this month. And so this right here, it should make people around the world really begin to rethink the concept of banking outside of what we've been talking about forever. Because the whole point in having a depository institution was so people could deposit physical items. It used to be gold and silver. They removed that. They put in IOUs, which is cash with digitization.
Fair use. All right. If I didn't say that already, you know. But hey, man, again, you see, you know, these things are being changed, man. Things are starting to now happen within the financial sector, man. Esau is moving pieces now. It ain't no longer him coming out in forums and speaking about these things happening. They're making the moves. Changes are being made, man. You have to be paying attention. Again, man, we're nigh at the MOTB, man. We see that we nigh at the door with World War III, man. You best believe that we're even more nigh to the MOTB. Because that has to come before the destruction comes. Okay? Let's keep going. Fair use.
Link to it. So at least you should be able to go deposit cash or check and get your cash or write a check. But now they're doing away with that. And this is all a part of the whole digital revolution taking place and where things are heading. And this week, the BIS summit took place here in the U.S. One of the key members of the ECB literally was like, you know, he was trying to remind his constituents what they're doing and how the banking model has already shifted and they're behind speed and they got to get caught up with the CBDC stuff because they're slacking according to what he said. So just let you know where everything's heading. And so this headline definitely is just the start of what will be more to come. And that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. So here we have Marquise. Let me get myself to go over some here so you guys can see it. Marquise Bank to go completely cashless this month. And so you won't hear this talked about from the mainstream news just because it's not in our country, first of all. But secondly, it will shine more light on some potential rebranding and issues in the banking sector in general. Then I got another article to let you know what we can expect more of. But just real quick here, I'll thumb through it, then I want to get your thoughts on this. And ultimately, the question boils down to is, when you get a letter in the mail or notification via email from your bank, wherever you bank at, and they say, hey, dear customers, due to the fact that most people don't use cash anymore, we're going to save costs and stuff like that, we're going to cut down on using cash and won't offer certain services anymore. Just want to give you a heads up, by this date, this is what will happen. What will you do? Will you just say, oh, you know what, I use cash anyway, so I'll just, that's fine with me, I don't really use cash? Or, because you know what's going on, will you push back and say, hey, I don't.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is there is going to be some pushback, and there's going to be a majority of people that accept this change that's getting ready to come. Okay? And the pushback is going to come in the form of civil war, because things are tensions are already at an all-time high, man. Esau Edom isn't just going to be able to just come out with this new system and there not be any pushback. There's going to be pushback, and this is exactly what Esau Edom wants. He knows this already, and he wants it. He invites it. Okay? Because what he's going to come with is the example by killing a lot of you folks that push back. You're going to be the example of what happens when you push back against what your new way of living. And you got a problem with it, you can die. Okay? But ultimately, man, the Lord is going to disappoint this devil, and he's not going to allow this devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, to fully implement his system. He's not going to be able to satisfy his desires, his appetites. All right, the Lord is going to flip this table over on him and put him down on the floor like the snake that he is, man. As the scripture says, he shall go back to his state, of crawling on his belly, man. All right, being in that lowest state. All right, so I'm going to end it off there. I'm getting to my destination here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. Much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and its truth and sincerity. With that, I say Shalom.